Welcome to Armored Brigade with me, Time and Tactics. This game was released on Steam today, Halloween 2019, and it's a tactical war game set in the Cold War era, so in the 60s, 70s, 80s, between a number of different countries. You can pick from, well, the base game I think has Soviet Union, United States, East Germany, West Germany, Finland, and Poland. There are 2 DLCs right now. Nation packs, they call them. The first one adds Yugoslavia and Italy, and the second one adds France and Belgium, and you get extra maps with them as well. I have all of those, so let's go ahead and take a look at the options that we have. This game, by the way, is very flexible. You can do almost anything in this game. Not only play predetermined scenarios that the ships with the game, but you can also set up your own scenarios. And you can play campaigns and create your own campaigns even. It's really a very cool system. Let's go ahead and select a new game. And here are the options you can see. We can play a predetermined mission here, and it can be one of the ones that I have created myself. These are the ones that ships with the game, with the DLCs that you have. You can see the countries here. So rear guard is Soviet Union here and against the US, and so forth. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play a predetermined one. I'm going to create my own. I'll show you how that works. It's pretty cool. If you want to, you can also play a campaign. There's a couple of campaigns predetermined. You can also create your own campaign here based on the map, and you control all aspects of it. So that is really, really awesome. Let's go ahead and select a new game, though, and generate that mission from scratch. Okay, first thing we have to do is select the map. The game ships with 4 maps in the base game, and then they add 1 more map for each DLC that you have. So I have all of them here, all 6 right now. We're going to play on the Southeast Finland map. I like this one because it has a lot of water and varied terrain. And I found here, there's a village over here called Inkeroinen, right over here. And by the way, the white box is where you're going to have your mission. So if you play a campaign, you're going to have a couple of, or several linked missions across a map. Now, Inkeroinen over here is pretty interesting, I think. But let's play on the very smallest map that we can find, and we'll see what kind of game we get out of that. What I found when I play the game is that no matter what map you select or where you go, you can have an interesting setup. So here I'm picking one that has 2 bridges. We'll see how that plays into it. It looks like this might be a good one here. All right, I selected that, and it kind of zooms in, and that's just an overview. The game doesn't look like this. It's just to give an idea that here we do have a bridge, and there's another bridge up there. Okay, so that's the smallest map set up, Southeast Finland, and we have it here. Let's go to the next step. On this screen, we select which 2 sides are going to face off, and we're going to be on this side here, player side. We're going to play as Finland. As you can see, there are many different countries there, and they have different different aspects to them. Like, for instance, Finland has pretty high training and high morale. That's going to help us out a lot. And then we're going to face off against the USSR, which has less training and also less morale. So we'll see what that actually means. Looking at down the list here of the different things about Finland, we can see that there's a command delay here. It just means that when you give another order, or give an order to a unit, how long will it take for them to kind of act on those orders? In our case, it will be 20 seconds plus a random number from 1 to 20 seconds. For the Russians, it will be 30 seconds always. Artillery delay, we have a pretty good artillery delay here, a couple minutes. They have up to 20 minutes, so that's a long, long time. Then down here, this is the important part. You can pick how you want to set up the forces in your scenario. I'm going to pick dynamic. Dynamic means I get to pick whatever I want, and then when I stop, whatever points I've spent, the Russians get to pick the same. But they get to, or not the same units, but the same number of points. They get to pick from the Mechanized pool. I think that's going to be a Mechanized USSR, Soviet Union, force attacking what we're going to be infantry. If I wanted to, I could just say infantry, and then we get more of a limited selection that we can pick from. But I'm going to go do dynamic here, and we're going to say they're going to be Mechanized. Nobody's going to have air superiority. And what year? Well, 1981 in April is what I thought I would do. So in 1981 in April, the Russians are attacking the small town of Inkeroinen at 6:41 in the morning. Yeah, it's going to be a morning battle. We can also do nighttime or dawn, and then you have to think about night vision. but it won't be a problem for us here. I will reduce the weather though down to fair, so you won't have as good of a vision on the map. The wind speed we'll leave it at random. The day temperature we'll leave it at cool. It affects the fatigue, vehicle breakdown, and terrain fires. It's going to be spring in the terrain, and ground conditions are pretty good. Should we say good or should we say fair? We'll say fair on that. And that's all we have to do here, I think. Let's go to the next screen. So on this screen, we set up the actual engagement. We're looking at that map again. Now, right now it's set to be a meeting. That means we have equal forces just trying to get into the center and take control of the victory location, which is here, by the way. This one here. But I'm going to make it a defensive one instead. So we're going to be defending. That's us defending. And we're right now set up to be on the west side of the map. But I'm going to switch it over to the east side. So we're green over here. And I'm going to see if I can I make this a little bit bigger. Let me just see if I can do that here. Oh, put that here. And then I don't think I can add. Depending on how the map is set up, you can make this a bit larger. There we go. So that's my deployment sector. So I made it about this big here. As you can see, the green area. Now, what you're looking at here is the Soviet Union will be starting in this area, the red. We'll start in the green. And the one victory location we have, you can see that here, the objectives is set to be down here. That's actually pretty good, but let's go ahead and move it up maybe a little bit more. Maybe up here. That's a road here, the yellow one. We'll put it right there. So that's the one we're going to be defending. That's not the end all of it, the game though, but if you do hold it, you do get a benefit. We're not going to have a dummy objective. That's something that you can use to kind of make the game more dynamic if you want, but we're not going to have that. We only have one objective, so it's pretty clear. We could add another objective. We could have two, but I think one is going to be fine here. Estimated time on this map right now is 50 minutes. That depends on what units you have, how you've set everything up, but we'll see how it goes in the game. I'm going to make it a defend mission, and we're going to be fortified. If you're fortified, you have access to things like pillboxes, minefields, and things like that for the defensive side, and that's us. We'll see how that goes. I think that's pretty good. So 50 minutes there. No dummy objectives. Yeah, looks good to me. Let's go to the next screen. So here we have the setup. What do we want to do? If we want to, we can make it normally manual, or we can switch to auto. I mean, if you have selected a predetermined configuration, like you said, like over here we have mechanized, we could have said if we were infantry, then we could say auto and the game would pick for us. But since I said dynamic, I have to pick the units myself, and that's fine. We'll let the computer pick the units for the Russians. Now, I think I'm going to bump them up a little bit, because we're defensive here. We're defending, we're dug in. I think it's going to be helping us quite a bit. So let's give them, should we give them 10% more power? We'll give them 20. I don't know. That might be too much. But okay, we'll try it. By the way, if you click on advanced, you can see the composition that they get to pick from here. So no more than 70% can be mechanized units out of the points that they get to spend based on what we spent. But I think that's all we want to do here. Let's go to the next screen. And here we go with our unit selection. So at the top we have the different units we can pick, and we have 50,000 and everything. That's because it's dynamic. If we had picked any other kind of configuration where we said we had infantry, for instance, we would get a lower number in all of these boxes. But we can pick whatever we want, and the AI gets to pick a corresponding number of units. Since we are doing a defensive mission, they get a default of double the points that we get anyway. So whatever we pick, they're going to have double. So what do I start with? Well, I'm thinking we're going to have a infantry situation here, an infantry company. So I'm thinking what we have is we have these not untrained, but these are reserve Finnish citizens. They are helping out, desperately defending against an overwhelming Russian force, right? So we're going to pick maybe an infantry company even. There's a lot of these who want to help out. They've been trained, but they've been trained sporadically. Still, though, by any standard, they are pretty good for being reserve. So we'll pick one of those. One company is quite a few units. Let's go ahead and say add. So over here we can see that's 208 points. So if we stop right now, the Russians would get to pick 400 points. Now I think we're going to have one more elite platoon, which is a smaller unit, 3 squads. We'll take them as well. And they're going to be there to help out. Maybe keep them more flexible. Are we even going to go with 2? This is going to be, by the way, quite small engagement here. You can set up much, much larger than I'm going to do here. But this is just to kind of showcase the game a little bit. We'll do maybe 1 company there, and we'll do a reserve platoon as well. Let's do that. So, mainly infantry units here, so we're going to go with. For the recon side of things, we have access to, and this all varies, by the way, depending on the country, the year, and a host of variables. But we have a couple of different options. Dismounted scout section, or you can see here what we have. These are just standard infantry. We have a BTR 50 PK, so mobile. Okay. It has armor. It can go 43 kilometers per hour. Have it 7.62 machine gun there with ammunition 1250 in ammo. Maybe, but I think I'm going to go with the dismounted. That's the cheapest as well. No, but this one is actually cheaper. It's only 45. But I think it's more in line with what I'm trying to do here, to go with a dismounted scout section. The scout section is made out of 2 teams, so we get 2 teams out of this. Let's go ahead and add that. Okay, that's all we need from there, I think. Going into the mechanized, I don't think that Finnish would have mechanized in this scenario. We're defending our hometown, and we don't really need mechanized for that, or we don't really have access to that. Same thing with armored. We only have access to T-55As here right now. That changes depending on the map and things like that, obviously. And then support. We do have support, though. Now, every unit here of infantry is going to have... Well, here's what I'm thinking. The Russians are mechanized, right? They're going to have armored units there. We need something that can take out armored units. And all of these infantry units, they do have access to some basic anti-tank weapons. So that's going to be okay. But I think I want something more than that. Well, how about we start out with a heavy recoilless section here. So 95 millimeter recoilless. That will be 70 points. We'll do 1 of those. So effectively 2 units that we can place on the map. What else do we want? We were up to 533, which is nothing. That's very, very small. If you look at any other map, any other scenario, it's going to be there's really nothing. We have an anti-tank here, M72, light anti-tank weapon. We may want to put those in as well. We'll add 1 of those. We'll add 2 of those. That's pretty good. And then I'm tempted to put in some machine guns. Here's a heavy one. This one here, maximum machine gun, is a heavy machine gun. You can see that here, heavy machine gun, 900 ammo. We'll take 1 of those, up to 678. Do we need mortar? I don't think it's reasonable to expect we would have mortars or howitzers there. But maybe we would have a medium machine gun as well. Let's do that. We'll add in a regular medium machine gun as well. How does that look? That looks pretty good to me. Yeah, that's fine. Now, since we are fortified, we also have access to obstacles. If you don't have fortified or dug in, you don't have these options. But you can add in minefields, anti-tank, wires, and pillboxes. Pillboxes contain a light machine gun. I'm going to give us 3. They cost points. We get 3 pillboxes. What would we have? We would have some wires. I think we would have up to maybe 10. What about the minefields? Maybe a couple of minefields as well. 4 sounds good. That's the minefield. Anti-tank obstacles. We can put maybe a 4 of those as well. All right. Now we're up to 874. What else? Well, we don't have anything available here as far as the aircraft category, so we can't do anything there. I said no to tanks. I said no to mechanized. What does this mean? Well, basically, we're going to have our reserve infantry platoon, quite a few. No, not platoon, the company. Quite a few of them there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, yeah. And then we have a platoon. So we have 12 different squads, plus 3 squads of the elite infantry. That's pretty good, I think. And we have 1 set of recon. We have the heavy recoilless rifle, 95 millimeter here. 2 specialized anti-tank, only 2, and then 2 machine guns. Do we need more than that? Yeah, we'll go with that. I have no idea if this is going to actually work out, but that's what I have. That sounds good to me. So since we have 874 points, the AI will be getting 2,000. Actually, they get 2,097 here because we said plus 20%, right? Let's go ahead and select done. And here is our mission. Let's go ahead and save that as Defense of Inkeroinen. And I'll upload that to Steam. Yeah, let's do that. And then you can, you can play this game as well. So, are we missing anything here? I don't think so. We're fortified. We're coming from the east. And that looks good to me. We are giving ourselves, I think, a little bit of training. So 10 more in training. To kind of reflect that the Finnish are very motivated, and while they are reserved, they are dedicated to defending Finland. Okay, let's go ahead and say that again. There it is. It's saved, and let's go ahead and play the game. Alright, so here we are on the map. Now, this is the actual map you're going to be playing on. And you can see the map, the minimap over here on the right. We can see elevation. We'll go through all of those. Let's start by zooming out, and we can see here on the map, yeah, that's exactly what we picked on the big map, right? Inkeroinen is over there on the right side, and we're starting over here. I remember I made that a little bit bigger, our deployable area. The scout units, they can be all the way over here, actually, but our regular units cannot. Now, we did say we had a bridge down here, right? I'm counting on this bridge, really. This bridge, yeah. If we were to... The question is, should we defend the left side or the right side? I'm thinking the right side, right? It'd be a little bit easier to do that. And we can add our obstacles that we have. We can set them up. We have 4 minefields, 4 anti-tank, 10 wires. And did I give ourselves pillboxes as well? Well, let's look at our order of battle. If you press F2, you can see it. We have 3 pillboxes here. They're on the map already. Light machine gun. We can just select it, click it, and it's up here. We're not going to keep them there. You can zoom in there on the map right there. Okay. Well, so we're going to be setting up our units. I think I'll do that in the next video, though, guys. I'm losing my voice for whatever reason, but I'll be right back, and we can take a look at the map in more detail. Bye.